I just sold my childhood home. It was in disrepair, and my fiancé wanted me to get a house with him instead of moving to the house with all the bad memories that I have. While I lived in the house from the age of 10 till 26, there were several occurrences that happened. We got the house due to the death of my grandfather. Upon moving in, started hearing walking up and down the stairs to the attic, or technically Mom and Dad's room. This house is a Cape Cod, so it's situated in a weird way. The door to the attic bedroom was in the living room. So, of course, it would be my mom, dad, and me in the living room looking up at the ceiling or at the door to the upstairs. Then we would hear the door open and close shut, but again, we were right there looking at it. Since whatever this wasn't harming us, I didn't think anything of it. We got the house blessed because you're supposed to every year. After that, the sound stopped. A couple of years later, things started happening. My mom worked third shift, so she would lay down upstairs from noon till 5. She heard on several occasions what sounded like a party going on right in the attic bedroom where she slept. She would look around and see nothing, but could hear people talking, clinking glasses, and having a good time. My experiences forever made me believe in the power of prayer. My dad and I would sleep together, A, because I was deathly afraid of sleeping alone until the age of 12, and B, he had just had a stroke and couldn't do the stairs for fear of falling down them. I slept on the top bunk, and he slept on the bottom, again just so he could get up without any hassle. He had to listen to talk radio at night, and what he listened to was Art Bell, a dude who talked about ghosts, the paranormal, aliens, you name it. I had heard so many freaking stories by this man about shadow people, and this night I had my first experience. I was on the top bunk, and my dad, like clockwork, got up to use the bathroom at 3 a.m. Back then, I didn't know this was the bewitching hour, or dead time, whatever you want to call it. Looking at the ceiling, and then all of a sudden I saw hands, just shadows, but they seemed solid at the time. They enveloped my line of vision and looked as if they were trying to suffocate me. In reality, they were just waving around my head. I started having my first panic attack ever, and that came with the feeling of not being able to breathe. I started praying. I was so scared that I couldn't scream, so I just said the Lord's Prayer over and over in my head. What seemed like hours was probably only seconds, and after saying the prayer 3 times, the hands disappeared. Other stuff that happened more recently is when my parents divorced and I took the attic bedroom because my mom wanted to be on the ground floor. As I moved my stuff upstairs and relished in the fact that I had an actual room, things started happening. Like the normal noise of hearing the floorboards creak, like someone was walking up the stairs. This is when I started hallucinating a lot. Like, I'd be sound asleep, hear a noise, wake up to look around, and in those first waking moments see a spider or a tick or some kind of insect on my pillow. This I can't really explain, so if anybody has any suggestions as to seeing spiders, that would be great. Also, the shadow people started. I would see them around my room just staring at me. It started getting me so freaked out that I reverted back to having a nightlight on as I slept. Things would start moving around my room or falling off without the cats being near, and that's when I got fed up. I started watching so many paranormal shows that said you had to stand up to the ghosts. So I said, leave me alone. This is my room and I'm living in it. You are not welcomed if you're scaring me, and making these noises scares me. Don't do it at night. Oddly enough, they respected that. Fast forward to me selling the house. I feel like I'm losing my home as well as my ghosties, as I affectionately call them. So, is it weird that I invited them to come live with me in my apartment? I said, if you scare me, you know I'll kick your asses so far out of the apartment. But I want you to know you are welcome to come along if you're going to be good. I feel like they have been sad the last 6 months since my mom died. They only had the animals around and started throwing shit around as we were moving things out. I told them that the neighbor bought the house and that he's good and all, but I know that they have become my family and just didn't want them to be bad or hurt. I don't think any have come with me, but they stopped throwing shit around.